Greetings, my level 100 Paragon wielding maniacs. This is Flare Balloons here, and we have another 2 Megapops guide featuring the Bomb Blitz. So firstly, we want to put down a submarine, and then we'll get started with the accumulation of pops. On round 9, place down Striker Jones of your choice.
No survivors.
And indeed, there will be no survivors, because this is a CHIMPS game. If there are any survivors, we will lose our only life. It's a pretty standard setup for a tower which does not have automatic camera detection. Just go for your submarine and then your submerged support, and you're very, very intact for a successful time, providing that your tower of choice can actually do the pops. Now, we can actually place down the bomb tower right off the bat when we start CHIMPS, but honestly, it is a rather weak tower for the price that you pay for it. Yes, it has a blast radius, but it is relatively small and its attack rate is relatively slow. So we need to compensate with that. So first we're going to get some extra range, and then we'll go some frag bombs next, so that those pesky black balloons actually this time around do not have as much of a worry for us, because remember the shut up, Otter Jones. The shards that appears off of the bombs can actually pop black and zero balloons, so you don't have to worry about them as much. Cluster bombs, because that larger amount of explosions will be very, very nice actually. And yep, okay, so our next choice will be advanced intel and then submerged support, because we really need the money now for some camo decamification means, and this submerged support is perfect. Number 1, it will remove our camo status, but number 2, it will not be popping any more balloons for the rest of the game. Round 27, we'll get some heavy bombs, and yeah, we're going to go bottom path paired with top path because of the amount of power that you get within the top path. Now next up, should we get ourselves an alchemist above the cluster bombs, or shall we try and just go straight to reclusive cluster so we'll get even more power out of the tower itself? And to be honest, we're not struggling at all right now, so I think we should go for a reclusive cluster in order to get that additional amount of power. See, submersion support, providing support, and is supportive by not popping anything. 2 goodies with 1 tower. Let's see, reclusive cluster is in place, and now we are popping at an even bigger rate. So every other shot that it fires, those clusters then send out even more clusters, so it's like a cluster bomb. I hope that this alchemist is close enough. Yeah, it's providing benefits, so that is close enough. One thing I wouldn't want to do is place down an alchemist and then it not be in a range of that, because then we'd have to restart the scenario, because I'm not fancying buffing the alchemist with a village of any sorts, just simply because we don't want to add any more range or any more attack rate to it, which is what we're going to be doing after we get the strongest stimulant. We're going to be applying a 200 monkey village so that we can increase the attack rate of the reclusive cluster. I was about to call it Bomb Blitz there, but any amount of attack rate increase is going to be beneficial for a tower that has a relatively slow fire rate. But when it gets a Bomb Blitz, it actually does, you know, pop quite well, attack quite fast. Let's see, we're going with that, and this is going to be a breeze. Just watch as the sheer destruction comes into play here. There we go. Yeah, we do definitely have a nice cannon. We now have jungle drums in place. Now we no longer have to worry about said, well, slow fire. I don't even know where I was going with that. So, primary mentoring, give it some more range alongside more, well, even more range, PS, and projectile speed. That's very key in all this. I'm not going to chance it with relying just on the submersion support for decamification, because there are times where a camo balloon enters this vicinity and it doesn't immediately decamify it. So I'd rather be able to get that guaranteed camo popping as soon as the camo balloon enters the radius of the attack range of the reclusive cluster. I always thought that the reclusive cluster, the Bomb Blitz, its main purpose is to annihilate a huge group of weak balloons. But just look at how easy it takes down a blimp, providing it is buffed with a lot of things. But just think about it. Usually something like the Moab Assassin, Moab Mauler, Moab Eliminator, I know I said those in the wrong order. Those are specifically designed for single targets of this caliber, but the recursive cluster and the Bomb Blitz, they are absolute no pushovers. Soon we'll be having our overclock and we'll be increasing the attack rate of our reclusive cluster tower even more. So we have 3 means of attack boosts: the Alchemist, the Village, and the overclock, which will apply right now. Oh gosh, look at that attack rate. We went from a slow fire rate to a very fast fire rate. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see me do. Perhaps you want to see 2 tower chimps? Would you like me to try and explore another kind of 2 Megapops, 2 tower chimp scenario? Because honestly, the 2 I've done, they're the only 2 I can really think of that's viable. Someone's recommended a Ray of Doom with a snowstorm, which is a very interesting concept because the ice can deal with the purples, and once the Ray of Doom is up, it will be able to circumvent its problem with purples. But we need to actually get to that point. Sometimes the most difficult aspect is not the tower itself, but being able to get to that tower itself. But also, thank you ever so much for your immense amount of support recently in regards to my 7 level 100 Paragons video and my balloon incineration video as well, getting 2 Megapops on that one. Like, that was really challenging to say the least. Whereas this one, we're still using Striker Jones, but this right now, it's relaxing. I'm not fearing anything at this given point in time. The reclusive cluster is doing God's work at the moment, and it's just tearing through everything that is sent its way. Like, Striker Jones means we don't need to put down an MIB. Oh, we ran out of overclock there. We don't need to put down an MIB. Oh, look at these. Look. Whoa, you can't really look at them anymore. But did you see those ceramics? Look, here's another bunch of ceramics that are about to come away. Look at them. It's just gone. Thank you, Alchemists, for buffing us. Thank you, everything, really, for buffing us. But this is grand. I am not, trying to sweat, trying to be as precise as possible, trying to get the maximum amount of results per shell. We're just deploying a tower down and it's just doing its own work rather than to constantly guide it, like, let's say, with a bigger swan or a balloon incineration. Somebody really wants me to do a pop and all, and I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna try and experiment with the idea of pop and all, but both cross paths have their advantages and disadvantages. The advantage of top path is that, well, you get more damage per shell, but then the disadvantage of that is that it doesn't have any burning stuff, so it doesn't have any lingering damage involved. Whereas a bomb path does have burning stuff, but the disadvantage of that is per shell doesn't do as much initial damage. Now, with bomb towers specifically with Striker Jones, to get the maximum amount of benefits out of it, you have to place Striker Jones near the bomb tower. But the issue with that is that Striker Jones would steal too many pops away, so we wouldn't be able to get 2 Megapops, because there is a particular buff with Striker Jones at level 8. So bomb towers near Striker Jones gets 5% range and 25% pierce added on top. Now, those are very nice, but it involves being near the bomb tower, and I don't want the bomb tower to be near Striker Jones, because then Striker Jones will take too many pops away, and that is not the idea. Even though I think it's actually impossible for Striker Jones to get 2 Megapops. It does not have enough firepower, but it has enough firepower to sap away over 42,000 pops. So that is all the idea. So we're 8,000 away from Bomb Blitz, and then every single one of these explosions will be the bigger variant. Rather than the smaller variant, it's the bigger variant. one which constantly has the clusters with clusters. Clusters with clusters with clusters with clusters. Explosions that take up the entire screen and you don't know what's going on. Just like any late game. I changed skin from Biker Bones to Octogens simply because cannons are more thematical with pirates. And also this one is inspired by certain Pirates of the Caribbean character. I like his design actually. I think normal Striker Jones is a bit bland. I mean, it serves the purpose as a military unit, but it's just a little bit bland, whereas Biker Bones and Octogens have a little bit more personality, especially Biker Bones, honestly. We will be getting our Bomb Blitz on round 75. Just watch the mayhem that will ensue once we get this. There we go. Now, every single time it fires, it's the bigger one. And it fires faster as well. And each thing it fires is much more powerful as well. So, everything all around is just a breeze. Like, I am not fearful of anything until, I would say, the bad actually. Or possibly fortified ZMGs. Our next target is the Perma Brew. Yes, we're going to make this thing turned up to 11 by giving it the Alchemist's benefits to it permanent. So here's a BFB and it's already shredding through the layers. Excellent. And the ceramics just went as well. Yeah, those ceramics, I mean, sorry. Not the ones that came out of the BFB. Let's do round 79. There's lots of regrow balloons, but we are just absolutely shredding through all of the layers. This tower is really powerful. Do not sleep on the Bomb Blitz. And for any occasion where something does leak, then anything that is a ZMG or below when it comes to size, they get instantaneously popped, but that feature does not work on CHIMPS mode because it involves losing a life. There are some ways which you can permanently lose lives, and I think it is to do with Zeddy's totem that she puts down, or her idol that she puts down, where sacrificial idol, where you have to literally sacrifice lives in order to gain a bit of power. Temporary though. So I'd say pair it with something like Spirit of the Forest so that you're able to gain those lives back while you're also sacrificing lives. Let's see, round 80, an absolute breeze. But when we get to like round 97, would you stop talking about your cannon, Octogen? I'm trying to talk here. So round 81 is an absolute breeze. Like, there is absolutely no worries whatsoever. Unlike the balloon incineration, which I did chronologically last time, this is just an absolute breeze. Like, I don't have to move a cursor anywhere, which is what I'm fearing for popping off. Like, I don't have to do anything aside keep putting number 2 on the Bomb Blitz. Number 2, by the way, is overclock. I'm just talking about abilities. Tier 5s do have that downside of not having as much time with an overclock, but just the power alone with this means that we're not losing out on too much power to the point where we're going to lose. But because of the fact that overclocks don't work 100% of the time on tier 5 towers, we're going to have to be careful with when we're going to use it. We can't just use it willy-nilly just because it's available to use. 2 ZMGs, let's see how this thing does. So apply the overclock. Yeah, since the damage is so spread out, we don't have to worry about like constantly trying to change one target or another target, or worrying about the fact that we might pop both CMGs at the same time or all of these BFBs, just because this thing has so much PS and the explosions, or I think each explosion has its own individual PS count. So therefore, you have so much PS to work with. And alongside with primary mentoring and alchemist, it's just a party overall. Well, not a party for these guys, but a party for us nonetheless. Let's see, going with that. So keep going with that. Fortified BFBs, no problem. I wish there was a fish-themed skin for ZMGs, honestly, because I think the closest we got is Waterman, and it's just because of the fact that Waterman has the name water in it. Like, that's the only justification for having it paired alongside other water-themed skins for Merb class balloons. We've got the Red Lobster for the BFB. We have the Pufferfish for the Moabs. We have Sharks for DDTs and the Whale for the Bad. And honestly, I think whales are just perfect because they're the biggest fiends in the ocean. Hope you're having a lovely day where you are at the moment, whatever it is that you're doing. Please tell me what other kind of videos you'd like me to do in the future. Like, for example, when update 40 drops, the submarine paragon will be introduced, so therefore we'll be able to encounter a 8 paragon level 100 solo video on that. Like, that will be very exciting. I think that will exceed round 400 though when it comes to completing the challenge, but I am really looking forward to it nonetheless. So a big thing to look forward to. I think, like, if every update is 2 months, then update 40 6 months time will be December, or at the very least at the very beginning of 2024. So there's okay, so DDT's coming up, and I'm not worried about this at all. Look at this. Oh, having a little bit of a struggle with those. Okay. Once you get to level 19, however, the black property of the DDTs will mean that well, not all of the explosions will deal damage, but with level 19 Striker Jones, it means that black balloons are now completely vulnerable to explosive damage, which is excellent because we need that kind of pseudo MIB-ness on the field, if that even makes sense. So that's all good. Honestly, I think we should save the overclock for the DDTs. Like, they're a bigger threat, I feel, because of their properties. DDTs are no joke terrifying at times. Like, if you're not equipped, then DDTs will just walk through everything that you have. I think we might actually need to use the overclock because we're kind of... Oh, actually, we've got the concussive shells actually to hold them in place for a little bit. And is that going to do it? Yeah, that does it. Lovely. Now, we have all the benefit aside that. Level 19 one. There we go. So we're almost at 64,800 to apply the permabrew, and then I think we have completely maxed out the amount of benefits that we can give to the Bomb Blitz within a chimp scenario. Let's see, round 94. Let's see if that does well, and we have it. We absolutely have it, so we just need them to apply again. I was worried there that a bug occurred that the icon does not change, and then we'll be in a world of hurt. So let's see, overclock is required here. Lovely. And just concussive shell, because why not? We're gonna do this? Yeah, we'll do it. The explosive radius is huge. Round 95. Hopefully the overclock will be back in time for when the DDTs come along. Let's see. Now I think we'll be able to circumvent this properly. Let's see. Overclock there, and the DDTs are kind of going down, but once the explosions actually go down as well, then yeah, they have no problem, no chance at all of escaping my wrath. So for the rest of our money, okay, we've got the tower that we want, we've got the support that we want, so I'm thinking of now the bad, and hopefully this will be able to do justice. I'm hoping by 100 we'll be able to get just enough money for the Moab Illuminator. If not, then a bunch of Merb assassins, and then we'll plaster them all over the field, and then from there we'll be able to do justice with that. So we're not going to be using the Merb assassin at all. Concussive shell, round 96. Keep on going with that. Overclock. The ZMGs will take a long time to get to this area. Just as so. Concussive shell. Just for reinsurance there. Let's see. Overclock. There we go. This is still They're still going down quite easy, but you still need to be a little bit careful. So concussive shell is there just with some insurance policy. Like, I like how quickly concussive shell regenerates. Like, that's a really cool thing about it. So that is that. We're going to save up the overclock for round 98, the biggest round bet there is. Actually, that doesn't really do much besides clump all the balloons together even more, so... I'm going to reserve this as late as possible, actually. Or maybe not even that. There we go. Concussive shell. Just keep applying that concussive shell whenever we can. Just stalls them a little bit. Not for pops, but for stunnage. Let's see. This. Oh, apply that. There we go. And that's going to do that. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get the... Oh. Okay, there we go. Now we have the Mobile Eliminator, and we're left with 89. 89, so...
Leave this one for me.
Look, you're not going to do anything, Otter Jones, okay? So just rely on the Mobile Eliminator.
Strike again, strike hard.
And that's when we use that ability, actually. So let's see. 18,000. We'll do one more. And we're going to leave the Bomb Blitz to do the rest. So this is why I was trying to do initially when trying to get Bomb Blitz, is just rely on it to pop the bad. But it just doesn't do enough damage. So there we go. And let's see. I think we'll be able to do this. Without a question or shadow of doubt, we'll be able to do this. So, yep, 2 million. 2 million and 11. Lovely. And a 001 engineer. What I really need is a 102 village and maybe able to gold border that. But that's like an almost zero chance of getting the insta that you require. But anyways, Bomb Blitz 2 Megapops allied with another bomb tower with the Mobile Eliminator, just shutting down the health of the badass so that the Bomb Blitz can then finish it off. Like, I prefer this over the submarine equivalent, just because of the fact that the submarine can attack regardless of where the bad is. Like, it can just always attack, whereas if you place the bomb tower far away, it won't be able to attack unless you activate its ability. So that's why I think this is a more controlled means of trickling down HP, rather than a submarine, which I keep forgetting the name of. Oh, it's a chosen map, so we get even more cake. I've completely forgotten the name now of this upgrade. Oh, Preemptive Strike. I don't like this one because it's more expensive, but also because Ballistic Missile will just kick in and do lots of damage towards Moabs. I'm not a big fan of this route when it comes to doing that. Whereas I think the more controlled damage of the Mobile Eliminator means that you can just target and damage a balloon whenever you want to. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what towers you'd like me to see me do next. I think because update 37 has given the sharks a massive buff, I might explore that next. Megalodon's price has been reduced, whereas the Great White and the Orca have been given a massive power buff. So yeah, that's going to be exciting to explore. But I think someone's also done a 2 Megapops on this on an advanced map. I think it's CHIMPS, where they will be able to get 2 Megapops with the Great White on an advanced map. Like, that's bloody insane. How a tower that costs 3,000 or a bit more than that on hard mode can literally do a 2 Megapops with the right support. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves, everyone.